Hi there, Aquarius, and welcome to your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand, here with the weekly astrological forecast for the week that starts at the 15th and ends at the 22nd of October 2018. This is the Heartful report, of course. And this week we're going to start off with 5 to 7 minutes just about your sign. Very simple and basic information. Well, not simple necessarily, but basic in a way that if people don't want to go into the depths of the astrology and the deeper sense and meaning of it for more than just these 5 to 7 minutes, because they're in a hurry, I want the short version. Yeah, well, that's it. And then for the ones who wants to go deeper into it, you can follow and watch the collective report as well. This week's winner, this is the last week's winner because I'm too busy. I'm gonna go into silent retreat for 1 week with nothing but me and the spiritual connection with God, and hopefully not too many thoughts. Well, I'm probably going to clean out something old, because that's what happens spiritually when you do that. It's very healthy for you. I'm going to be out here in the forest. There's going to be people, but no one's going to come to me and talk to me, because this is a place where you do this, like in a monastery. And therefore I don't have time for it for a while, because that whole week is going to push the rest of all my appointments a lot. So Felicitas France from Germany, an actress, is the last winner we have this round. Congratulations, you're the winner this week of half an hour astrology with me. This is a very special time. Now we're starting the report for all of us, of course. There's the sun for the last week in your 9th house, and this means that we have reached a level in Libra at the highest degrees, the highest potential of Libra, where you alter your belief system in such a way, in such a great way, that you will discover. Just let me turn the camera. You see the beautiful fire? Yes, I'm out here in the forest. I don't think you can see anything actually but the fire, but I'm out here in the forest. Let's look at the fire, since we have such a beautiful view while I'm talking. Well, yeah, of course you will have altered your belief system or theory of life here from the beginning of the week, you're gonna feel like there's something new coming in to your life, that you know, something to go for, something that you want to pursue and follow, and you know, when it's Aquarius, it's it can be many things. It can be based upon research or science or some kind of thing going on and that level. But for the more spiritual people, of course, you can just have had these epiphanies about, wow, this is how it is. That's your Uranus, how he works. Well, he's retrograding, but still here in your 9th house, this is maybe someone says something to you because it's a partner of yours, a business partner, some innovative idea. You might have discovered a topic that is worth for you to go for, you know, with passion. And if you want this to happen, you may have to push your boundaries a little bit and make new decisions with yourself, because maybe this thing that you want to pursue has a demand on you altering your way and undo something you thought was solid for you in your life. You're going to have to change, and I know that this may be hard, because this means that the future is not going to be exactly as you have envisioned it and have thought it was going to be, and now you're forced to break down some walls with this retrograde in Scorpio, where we have walls. So your 10th house, like how you're gonna your face in the world, you know, the legacy agendas that you have, for career and legacy agendas that you might have, that you have to alter over a longer period, over the next 6 weeks. So it can you decide something and then you may have to undo it again. So it's a little bit, the time right now is different, you know, changeable, because we are changing, we are altering. So let's start with the cards of the week. Of course, I have to change the camera again. I wasn't. So the card of the week, we're going to start with astrology cards, and I'm going to have to say that if you want to achieve this, you know, Uranus is always about breakdown of something and breakthrough. of your life purpose, a destiny call here. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, like this. That's because I have a lamp. Then you made. I think that there will be a purpose change for you guys, and it's gonna be interesting what kind of purpose change it's gonna be. Let's see if the cards can help us. The astrology cards. In which direction are you pointing? I love the cards. I can also just look at the chart, but this is more fun. Venus, love. Oh my God. Yeah, well. Exactly Venus who's making these changes. So, of course, the cards are giving me exactly what we're talking about. Venus is going retrograde in your career house, in your life purpose, destiny house, and she's changing things. So, yeah, it's true. These cards wanted us to focus upon just that. And your relationship with others. How are you? How are your values? Are they the ones that you have to break down in order for this life purpose breakthrough to happen? Let me see the other cards here. This new theory or belief of yours may also alter things quite a bit. Card of the week for the beautiful Aquarius. In Denmark we have an Aquarian crown princess from Australia. Princess Mary. Alright, Taurus rules the sign. And so, belief systems. Didn't we talk about that? Change. There's a change in your belief system, and that is exactly these two cards that we pulled. This card. Oh, shoot. And that, just a second, this is a little bit. These two cards are exactly what I talked about. Belief system change, 9th house, Sun last week. Venus in your 10th house, career, goals, ambitions, life purpose, breakthroughs. The cards wanted to say the same that I just said, so I guess I have to say, don't follow twins, follow your heart, and say that now it's time for the collective where we go even deeper into the things for the cabbies. See you there, if you're there. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I would love that. I will answer questions if you have. See ya. Well, so the collective part of this week will be a talk where you look upon beautiful things that I'm filming from the air, places that I love, that are charged with spiritual and divine energy. Don't you feel it? Yeah, I think you do. It's both at my home and very close to my home here in Denmark. Our home, I mean, of course. Yeah. So let's see. This week, well, I want to start with actually Mercury, of course, because Mercury is the main character of this week. He's conjuncting Venus in the beginning of the week and he's squaring the node. So, and actually I just want to say about Mercury that he's retrograding from the 17th of November to the 7th of December. So we will have a Mercury retrograde coming soon enough. So we have Mercury squaring the node. So this has something to do with, are you actually going to, I mean, in your life, are you actually bringing forth the childlike, more playful, heartful side of yourself? Or are you more like, because Leo is where the North Node is, and are you going to be like the more rebellious, radical, and genius Aquarius? Which side to choose is what it's asking really now. So, but we have to know that the South Node is, of course, are we really going to get anything out of being radical and rebellious now that the South Node is here, even though Mars is also here? Because Mars in Aquarius is gonna wanna, go into these wild, weird worlds where we can express our deep, radical selves, But I don't think it's a great idea when we have the South Node here where we are not supposed to go. So, well, the question is also: are you really who you think you are, or is it just an identification with an ego that you have built a house upon a rotten fundament. Like, is it really time now to find out who you really are? I mean, we are dealing with our trouble sides, of course, and we have Chiron in Pisces, so it's also about the guilt and the shame of all the things that fell apart in our lives, and the most sensitive things, and the most intense feelings and emotions on a dramatic level. Like, feelings are changing. And this Mercury-Venus conjunction Monday evening here in Denmark, with Mercury in Scorpio, we are here. He's investigating things on a deep level, not only just on the surface or in the mind. It's on the deep emotional level, and he's kind of like, he wants to investigate so much there, so much more intense than other places. So he's trying to find a better suggestion for a life plan, for what we want, and how we can manifest deeper, more real understandings of, like, we're trying to understand and see the deeper layers of life here, and we're going to discover these deeper unconscious layers of ourselves. So, but the question is, again, with this bipolar sign of Scorpio, which ones takes us to the higher realms of consciousness and to our open heart, and thereby to true love, right? Which ones doesn't? Which ones are like taking us down bad paths with bad people for us? Weird and ugly stuff. Because Scorpio is, of course, his transcendence from darkness into light, and yeah, he's just like these beautiful things that can come out of it, and a force that can push forward. But he's also the ruler of sexual things, like diseases and obsession and dominance, and things that the darker side of our nature. So with Jupiter here, it's just like multiplying things by 5. You might take it a little too far with these taboos in life, because he can be a bloodsucker, this fella. So these signs, with Mars are in Aquarius, in a fixed sign, and Scorpio is also a fixed sign. They know what they want, and they are kind of radical, and they're in a square. So with these two in a square, we want something so crazy and out there, but at the same time, we can also choose the more pure side. And this is the bipolar choice we have to make with all the Scorpio. And October, November is a wild months, and Venus hasn't even reached the 4 degrees where the crazy zone is at. But now we're because the 4 degrees was also where we had different things going on. There's some long story, don't want to go too far into that, but around these degrees are the crazy stuff. And now we're starting to understand what this Venus retrograde is actually like for us in our lives, more concrete. We are on the way down into the underground, and we are asking ourselves, okay, how much deeper down into the SHIT can we come? Because we feel, now we took a step. But some of the steps we take are also putting boundaries to other people, saying yes, no to other people. And there's also this fear of, do they then respond and come back to us and give us some SHIT? And do we then have a battle? Because Scorpio is such an aggressive sign as well, right? So, yeah, it's also dealing with this fear. Keeping the innocent side of you alive, keeping the heart open is very important. And the question is, again, are you really who you think you are, or are you just identifying yourself with your ego? You have to find out now who you are. Well, again, Scorpio is pressure. The sign of Scorpio is pressure. Pressure to grow no matter where we are. We face ourselves, so we think that it's other people, that it's about other people, but it's you're facing when you're meeting resistance. Right? It's you're facing, and you have to dare in Scorpio to be who you really are. And when Mars in Aquarius at the same time wants enlightenment, but then you have to deal with your SHIT if you want that. And Venus in Scorpio is asking, like, are you escaping? Are you hiding? Are you cheating? Are you stealing? Are you lying? Do you feel and follow yourself, or you follow others and their idea about wrong and right. I mean, in relationships, if we don't try to change ourselves now, nothing this Venus is going to happen. You have to look upon how you can change. And Mars and Venus in square, which is still repercussions from it now, in this week, like, our relationships are changing. They're not the same as for 10 years ago. But we all have both Mars and Venus somewhere in our chart. And the one is more conscious than the other. And that side we suppress can, in a square situation, sneak in on the other more conscious part of you. So you really have to be aware of, are you more masculine than feminine? And once the opposite side of what you are more is going to come about, then you know, okay, I may have to feed this side that's out of balance. That is the last week of Libra. You need to see which side in you are out of balance. Are you always giving? You need to learn to be the receiver and get your yin energy, your feminine side out. And most of us have too much masculine. We are giving. When is the time for you to receive? Venus wants attention now. Give it to her. Be vulnerable. Dare to be sensitive. Dare to feel. Dare to be. Let your feminine side out. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. I'm not talking about gender. The feminine side. And so basically what we're doing now is we're renegotiating our relationships. We're investigating our relationships. We have to change. I mean, we're being detectives. We have to change boundaries, and it can feel really weird. So like 2018 is all about, changing on a personal level, clearing out old karma. The inner world is getting cleared, of course. So these huge changes in inside of us is what this week is about. And last week of the Libra season here, it's all about the balance out in the relationship. So it's time to get what we deserve also. Time to draw some boundaries. Libra, Scorpio. So the moon is going to be in Capricorn over Pluto first. And that's the death of a new era. Starting Monday, Tuesday. And then the moon is going to be in Aquarius, and where we really, we detach from all the chaos around us, because we can just say, oh, F it, I'm not in it. I'm out here in my mental world. And then we're ending up in Pisces at the very end of the week, we enter a new moon phase in the traditional astrology with Aries, and the moon Monday, Tuesday. And then the moon is going to be in Aquarius, and where we really, we detach from all the chaos around us, because we can just say, oh, F it, I'm not in it. I'm out here in my mental world. And then we're ending up in Pisces at the very end of the week, we enter a new moon phase in the traditional astrology with Aries, and the moon is in Pisces. We have to rely upon God, right? So this is a week we're clarifying things, changing things, and we're detaching, and then ending up with a more intuitive side, right? So fate, destiny is on the table when we are talking also about Capricorn. So it's with Pluto, there's subconscious pushes towards the motives that we have, and we have to notice these signs that comes in our lives from our higher selves through our intuition. And in the Venus retrograde, we are listening to them more, because the Venus is the feminine receptive side is more here. So we take the time to listen to the more spiritual side of ourselves also. In Scorpio, also because of the domino effect of everyone else doing so, then the energy is there. We are in that classroom here on Earth. So first off, in Libra, we were establishing the balance with our inner stuff, and the relationship with ourselves. Then. And then in our relationships in regards to other people. And now, this week, it's more like specific relationships that are the really important ones we're working with now. Find the right soulmates. Find the right teammates at your work, in our lives in general, of course. And we are following the emotional part. We're following the intuitive parts, the heart now. And so this is new territory we're walking upon. And if you have a hunch and an intuition about something or others, or if something you feel about people, then follow it, you know. You're breaking through this week and you're starting to see the opportunities that you didn't see before, and we live in a new ascensional level, the quantum physical world that was introduced to us in the zeros, to many of us light workers in the zeros. I remember even in the late 90s, it started really coming up, like because both of my parents are librarians, so I got it. My father's a critic as well, so I got the books from him, and I just remember, like, anything right now we can get that we believe we can is possible. If you can see it, it can happen. But you have to know and see and feel that it can happen. There's so much information to get from the Akashic Records, the Universal Library of Info. Just tune in, just log on the internet, the spiritual net, and you get information. I was born with Mercury in Pisces. That means that I don't rationalize as much as you might think. Of course, I also do, because I have a lot in Virgo, but I primarily get my info from my intuition. And this is what we can do with quantum physics. We can enter this information where we can also things and make them go much faster as well. A quantum level and a quantum degree of going through processes at a much faster level. We can change things just through a decision, right? We are not that limited as we thought we were. You're coming on a deeper level in relationships too, and you can really use this information that I just gave you to move forward faster. Because all of this week is a part of this relationship change. So new alignments in the world and in your world is coming. Definitely, I'm positive about it. And you know, the Venus-Mercury conjunction Monday, you're really gonna see how things where things are broke and where they have to be fixed, and you'll see how you can where you have to go towards and where you don't have to go towards. So the old can tempt you to go back, but you have to take a heartful decision and go forwards. And yes, that creates a risk, but who ever gained anything if we weren't following their heart and taking risks? You have to take a risk this week and do something about things. You cannot sleep upon it anymore. Time is now. Stop procrastinating your life. It's your responsibility, no one else's. If you don't do something now, you have lost the train and the chance. Don't sacrifice your boundaries either. If people overstep your boundaries, say something. You don't have to make a speech. Say it shortly. A well-set boundary is a boundary set. This you don't do anymore. You don't even have to say period, because that is just in the air. And people are like, yeah, but this you don't do anymore. Of course, if the person really wants an explanation, okay, I can give it to you, but I have to let you understand that this is my boundary. So in the beginning of the week, we are kind of like divorcing people and having the final conversations with the ones that aren't going to go on the train with us or on the flight into the new realm and world we're doing in relationship-wise. And yeah, so you have to look upon the boundaries, of course, then, and of course the emotions will intensify some this week and then also get a little unclear at times, but you just have to trust the process, right? So ask yourself, what is it that I deserve in my life? What do I really want? With whom do I belong? Where do I want to be? And what do we want to really do with our lives? So at the beginning of the week, you look upon what are the possibilities for me, and at the end you are like, okay, these were my possibilities, now I do it. This is the one that I'm committing to. These are the people. This is the one I want to marry. This is the one I want to do business with. This is the one I want to have kids with. This is the one I want to be friends with. This is the one that I want to start a family with, build a project with, have a friendship with. And then once you've seen that at the beginning of the week, then you go for it. At the end of the week, you say to that person, yes, you're the one. Let's do this. And you take that chance. There's a Rumi saying goodbyes are only for those who love with their eyes. For those who love with their heart and soul, there's no separation. So don't be afraid if you have to say goodbye. It's all good. It's all good. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Thanks for watching. Namaste.
There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again. One day you will break through. What you long for will find you. Through all the hard times, I always seem to find the light in your eyes. We fall through.
Don't follow trends, follow your heart.